Alrighty, folks, let's call up the Cory Jones. Let's see if he's hopefully he's still around. Alrighty, hello, sir. How are you doing?
Hello. How are you?
Can you hear me? Okay.
I can.
All right, that's awesome. I can hear you nice and loud and clear. So yeah, I'm doing well. Thank you very much for joining me today. So so everyone, there's Cory Jones. Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome to the stream. So yeah, how are you doing? How's things there at the office?
Good.
I'm just getting Hex back in here at the moment. All right, so let me jump back into Hex. I'll get you on camera since you've got that going. Let's. I do have it set up here. Alright, so we're logging into the game. Let's get this over here. Alright, so let's see if my preparation worked out. So let's get the camera itself, and oh, look at that. It actually lined up perfectly. Oh, beautiful.
Alright. Good job.
There we go. So now you can see him. Let me see. I can probably adjust it a little bit. I guess that's fine. It's actually surprisingly aligned rather well. So yeah, there we go. Alright, so yeah, how are you doing? How's things at the office?
Oh, very good. Happy birthday, by the way. Congratulations on being another year older.
Yeah, 33. The time sure flies. It's just crazy.
It's unreal. It starts to speed up, actually.
Yeah,
it feels like
exactly.
A needle skipping on a record. It's getting faster and faster, and the next thing you know, you're dead.
The next thing you know, you're dead. I mean, well, technically, I guess you don't know that, but yeah, that's how it ends.
Yep.
So yeah, how are you? How's things?
Oh, going good. We're busy at work. The hope is that relatively quickly here we're going to have the siege mode stuff out, and we've been testing. The tests have been going great. There's the usual little visual bugs and the little bits and pieces that have to be massaged, but the core functionality all works. Everything's great. The beautification stuff is all in process, so I'm hoping it's relatively soon. It really just comes down to the bugs. All the functionality is in, all the interface stuff is done. We have, I think we're about 99% sure we're going to launch with a playback feature. So you're going to be able to go back in and look at all the people that attacked your keep and see what happened.
So similar to the replay stuff, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to have a replay with launch of keeps where you're going to be able to look at a list of all the attacks on your keep and then watch a playback of that attack.
That sounds pretty cool.
I think that'll be really fun. I mean, it was definitely one of the things we noticed when we started to play. Kamaginti made the comment right away. He's like, well, I made my keep, but I really want to see how it did, like rather than just see a number of times it was attacked and defended. I want to watch them
to see where it's potentially.
The downside of that is you're going to see that the AI at times can be a little goofy.
Yeah, I was about to say.
So you're going to see.
That is another upside, I guess, though, because then you can see, oh, well, my AI is not actually using this card correctly, so maybe I'll take that one out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty handy.
It is what it is. I mean, we're actually going back, and we've as part of the process for Siege, Chris is investing more time in making our AI smarter and smarter, and giving it the tools it needs to understand some of the newer cards. For some stuff, I mean, it's pretty easy, like Prophecy. It just does it, but for stuff like Empower, it's a little more complex. So it doesn't know how to use Empower very well. I would not use Empower cards in your keep defense.
Right.
But it's been fun. I mean, they've been building all these brews, and it's been pretty funny. Like one of the powerful decks was actually using an Easter PVE card. So I just love seeing some of the sillier PVE cards actually pop out as being pretty powerful in Siege mode, which is going to be hilarious to have everyone sort of reinvestigate all the different cards that exist and combos that exist with this very specific goal in mind of how do I build 3 pieces of a puzzle that is impenetrable and that the AI knows how to use, knowing that the AI is not great at certain things like anticipating or judging sacrifices. It's going to make for some pretty neat gameplay, I think.
With that said, so I think you guys have already said that you're going to have like a ban list of stuff that you can't use against AI at some point because like what I see as being a problem is like the combo.
No, to start with, everything's on the table. Like I said, like we're doing this sort of open development style. So we're going to start off with everything. You know, the defense has is all of PvE, so it's sort of frost ring mode. So you'll have all the PvE cards, all the equipment. To start with, we don't have the mercenaries, but I want to get there. That's one of the things that's on the list for sure. And then for attacking, you're standard. And so we'll see how that goes and see if the balance feels like it's challenging and fun. And if right now the defense has the advantage for sure. It's really tough. If we discover some cards that need to be banned in the next week or so, like we're working on through the bug stuff, we might ban a few cards. But again, we're just going to kind of play it by ear a little bit. We're just trying to make the most fun experience. And then if we figure out that the defense is still a little too rough in terms of what the return is, and how many times you're playing, then potentially we open it up to something like you have Immortal format and the defense has PvE, and then we look at that. And so the goal, of course, at the end is to have the AI be smart enough so that both players could be full PvE mode and let it go from there. Now, the good thing about standard versus PvE is that for our PS4 players, it sort of opens it up to them because they're in the same boat. They don't have PvE cards to use. Now, they can get the PvE cards from the auction house or wherever. That's fine. And a lot of that stuff isn't very expensive, so that's nice. But we're just kind of playing it by ear. I love the feature. It's something that we've had on the docket, from the very beginning. And as I said, we had built out the core mechanics of it as part of a larger Keeps PvE sort of design. But we never again, I've designed lots of stuff where the idea is cool, but the actual play of it's not. So we've tested it, and it seemed like a great idea. But this will be a fun way for us to just put in the core mechanic of it, have everyone play it, have everyone give us comments, and then we can slowly but surely sort of whittle it into shape, sculpt it into shape, and then great, when we launch the larger Keeps piece of the PvE game, then we've got this core engine part of it sort of in a great place.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're yes, they're working on it. The key is going to be a lot of the infinite combos require a certain number of turns or a certain you've got variance, and when you're playing one game matches and you have to do it 3 times, but kind of what we're finding is that the AI, especially the AI decks, are good. Like it'll blow you out, and you have to hit it 3 times in a row with one game. So that's one of the problems with combo decks, is that if you stumble even for a heartbeat, the thing will put you in the ground. And so the odds of you running it 3 times in a row, I mean, it's there, but I think it's a little harder. So, and I don't feel like any of our combo decks are so consistent that somebody puts in just a burn down rush, a PvE deck with equipment, that you'll have the time. You'll have to just get lucky. And so I feel like that's one of the things that's sort of moderating it a bit. So but again, it's impossible. Like with the billions and billions of combinatorials we have at this point, like there's just no way to effectively test it other than give it to everyone, and we'll just kind of see what nets out.
Well, and speaking of that, is there any plans to maybe do a test server stuff before?
For this, I mean, I feel comfortable enough just putting it live and letting
letting the
it real clear
live,
that this is sort of in process.
Yeah.
And it's you can put up the lowest putting up whatever the lowest number for gold is. That doesn't represent a lot of risk.
True.
And so messing around with that, or just playing against yourself just to test your decks, and I feel like there's a low enough barrier to entry, and it's mainly just a fun thing that we're probably pretty safe, like, without having to do a test server. Also, I think we're so close at this point, it wouldn't even be worth taking the trouble.
That's awesome to
My
hear.
hope is that it's out
I'm
real
sure,
soon.
I'm sure everyone's excited about that. So, yeah, we're going to do a Kismet draft in here in a moment. So I'll jump in the queue. It's at 4 to 8. So while we're waiting, we can obviously chat some more. But so Kismet draft, I'm sure a lot of people like myself and you have been drafting a lot. Well, we know that you draft a lot. Have you done anything awesome lately in Kismet draft specifically? Like, what's been your favorite thing?
My favorite thing has always been just sort of chasing the weirder combos. So all of the Kismet drafts have been fun because the part of the point of them is to sort of put in a lot of different action when it comes to figuring out the format, and that's been sort of the funnest thing of all. Is you never really can figure out the format, and you're always sort of bouncing around trying new stuff. I'm glad to hear people like it. It's definitely clearly it wasn't as popular as last time, and I'm always trying to figure out how best to serve the Hex community. I mean, I recognize that people made comments about, we not a lot. Why are we doing this again? And we have we just came off of this, but my take on it is, as I look at the numbers, when we do a new draft format, when the new set comes out, they're popular, but then they drop off at about 8 to 9 weeks, pretty much regularly. Since, not for the very, very beginning, because it was all just kind of cockeyed in terms of the sets and the release dates, but since we've been consistent, it seems relatively consistent that the drop off is that somewhere between 8 and 9 weeks. So trying to figure out how we give the players something that is interesting or fun or that excites them is always my goal. And so, we're gonna keep working on it. If it's not, a Kismet draft, or is it a flashback draft, or what is it? I feel like physical is very limited because their distribution process and in the stores, and they're so locked into how their format has to work for physical games, and we're digital, so we can do something smarter. And I just want to try and continue to figure out how to do something that people get excited about when it starts to sort of taper off.
Yeah, mixing things up is always fun. Give people something new to try. One thing that I've suggested that I thought would be pretty fun is at the end of every month, like, we have VIPs. I was thinking it'd be kind of cool if you took that system, because some people are saying that, it's not, we're not getting the numbers anymore. I was thinking it'd be nice if you maybe mix it up a bit and change, where you have a draft, end of the month draft tournament, where you maybe have just the VIP ticket as the entry. So it's mostly just for fun. And what it would be is it uses everyone's, you go to join, and then it presents you with all the drafts you did for that month. And then you pick one. So you pick your best one, and everybody's doing the same thing. So it's just a tournament full of all these crazy draft decks from that month to see who had the best draft deck type of thing, and mainly just for fun. But I think that would be pretty cool to do as just an end of the month thing, maybe every couple of months. Because it'd be exciting. Because I've had plenty of draft decks where I've just been I wish I could play it some more.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk to the guys. That's a really good idea. I'm definitely. I've read the comments. I'm on the forums as much as I can be. I try to absorb as much of the constructive criticism without getting to the point where I'm sort of the toxic part of it gets me tilted.
Totally
so I try my best to try and sort of take what's great out of there, and definitely the comments about the tournament attendance. One of the things, having the Bash and Clash every weekend, I just really wanted to have a way for people that were wanted to be invested in playing sort of that tournament level play, and having something every weekend that you could look forward to, and it was just a regular thing. I feel like that's very important for a trading card game. And so seeing the numbers go down a bit, this is natural for where we are in the cycle of the sets. So whenever we do, did I lose you? Oh, no, there's the
I just
screen.
didn't want to interrupt, but the draft has fired, so I've shared my screen now. So I'm thinking of just being a dirty red drafter and taking the value there. But,
but you don't. What about the winning?
The winning? I mean, the winning, yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
okay.
what would you like? This is your draft. What do you want to do?
I take Dark at Night.
Dark of Night it is. Yeah, I mean, I would take it. I mean, well, someone's going to get a present there, so there's another giveaway for you guys. Whoever's in the
There you
draft.
go.
Speaking of giveaways, let's do a Spectral Oak. Let's do a big one. We got Cory on now. Let's start off with a Spectral Oak. All you got to do is type in the chat. Hopefully my volume's better now. Some of you guys saying I was much too low. So please let me know if that's better. So we got Dark of Night. So Cory, just, yeah, tell me what you would want to take from this pack. I know what I like. Let me know what you like there. I'm gonna.
What do you like?
I love In the Halls of Twilight. I love that card.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think we just go. Let's just follow it. I mean, here we are. We've got the Blood Diamond. We're on the right track.
I don't know if you saw my Death Chant article, but I love doing that. And Blood Diamond is super
Yeah,
strong.
yeah.
Just so many synergy cards. It's just great. So
I'm right there with you. I love Death Chant. That's a great.
Yeah. All right, folks. So the Oak. All you got to do. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
All you got to do is type in the chat, folks, to win a Spectral Oak. I'll do the giveaway in about a minute's time, so you got plenty of time to type in there, and I'll draw that winner. So yeah, we got the next pack. I like one. There's several cards I like here, so it is a tough choice. But what are you liking?
I would say, well, clearly, I always go removal first. I've never had a case where I'm like, damn, I got too much removal. So I mean, repel for me.
Yep.
I just always take all the removal I can to start.
Yeah, I mean,
and then
I do that most of the time as well. In this case, like, I wouldn't be, like, Corpse Fly, I love 2-for-1s, and I do like the, Evasive Threat on top of it. So, but yeah, Repel is fine. Either of those is what I would go for here, and then hope for the Watcher or, whatever I'm not picking. So Watcher or Corpse Fly on the wheel would be fantastic. I doubt from this pack we're going to see either of them, but we can hope. So yeah, definitely grab the Repel here.
You might.
Oh, look at that. We get rewarded with more removal. I really love Overwhelming Guilt as well. Just that 2-for-1 value with the Verdict. I'm a huge fan of Verdict.
Oh yeah, for sure. I love it. That right there. Here, this is good. And, I've seen these drafts many times where you end up getting a lot of great removal, and then you're able to sort of cherry pick their. Because typically what it ends up being is like, oh, they got threats that you have a hard time dealing with, and as long as you can deal with those, you can usually get on top.
Especially if we do manage to somehow get a Death Chant deck going, the more removal we have, the better. Deal with their threats that we can't just block and trade with, and then you're off to the races. So yeah, Overwhelming Guilt, very nice pickup here. Hopefully we can keep this trend going. It's looking pretty good so far.
This is amazing first 4 picks.
Ooh, so several good cards here as well.
Ooh, yeah, this is interesting. You tell me, what would you take in this?
So Noble Citizenry is obviously great, but it is double threshold, but that's a big deal. I would probably go for the Watcher and hope that works out, because they are ridiculously good when you get, obviously, even if you don't get a huge amount, they still
you've seen a few, and every pack has had a Watcher in it so far.
Has it? Oh, I haven't even realized that.
Yeah, the first pack, either a Watcher or a Hunter. The first pack had a Watcher for sure.
Yeah, no, I know.
Well, there you go. Then let's go for it.
All right.
You got Watchers and Hunters. We can try. Like, they're clearly the 4 people to the what, right, left of you, whatever. They're not doing it. So now it's time. Hopefully it tables.
Yep. All right, folks. Let's draw the winner of that Spectral Oak. Let me find my window. There it is. All right, here we go. The winner of the first Spectral Oak for today is Ravenok. Ravenok, please let me know your in-game name. Alright, what do we got here? So we've got a Battle Chant, a Vampire, a Mosquito, a Mosh Pit, and a Cruel Sentence in our colors. Not that we're locked into blood, but Dark Knight is a very nice card. But yeah, so I personally like Cruel Sentence, just, replaces itself, and you get that Verdict.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I just really love Verdict. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you've had some Gladiators come by, too.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of them in Blood Diamond just because the gem choices aren't the best.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, so like the Vampire is okay. I just don't prioritize Vampire, like, because normally I get to see a bunch of them, and like it's perfectly fine. 4 cost 3/2. Yeah, I just like Cruel Sentence.
You haven't really been. I mean, you don't have any Deathcry stuff particularly. So
yeah.
Not that that's the most important thing, but
yeah. All right.
Cruel Sentence is great actually. I like that card quite a bit.
Yeah, I just love Verdict stuff. I mean, especially a card that's replacing itself, and you can get lucky.
Yeah.
All right, we got a question here.
Ooh, boy, that's tough.
I know what I like. What do you like?
I would have to go with the Munsagi Deadeye.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, 100%
that card
Deadeye
is
for me. It's just
crazy
very good
good.
value. Just very good.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we've got a consensus there. All right. What do we got up next? We've got Grizzy, Darkspire, Sappers, Ritualist, Outflank, Royal Diplomat. I mean, we're seemingly in the right colors here, but this is a tough choice.
You got a Royal Diplomat over there. You got the Grizzly.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, anything from here, well, for the most part, I'd be happy with. So, whatever you like, we'll take. Let me just check on the chat here.
I would go with the.
All right, in-game name.
Yeah, I would probably go with the Diplomat.
Diplomat it is. All right. So we can always give him extra health, and then when an opposing troop enters a crypt, we can go for extra damage, making him a pretty big threat. So that's not a bad option.
Yeah.
So there's not really anything for us here besides the Runic Strike, so I guess we'll just take the Runic Strike, unless we want to deny something, which is obviously...
No, I usually don't hate draft. Like,
Yeah.
it usually doesn't do much for me. Unless there's just nothing, then I'll just try and take whatever's best. But
Yeah.
I think your Running Strike's fine.
Yep. I'm fine with that. Alright, so that's... I've got your name there, so we'll do some more giveaways in a moment. But yeah, so that's Runic Strike. So yeah, let's hopefully get some of those Talon Keeps on the wheel. If not, oh well, we'll just keep taking all the good Blood Diamond cards as we see them.
Yeah, you've gone by one, so somebody's taking them. So we'll see.
So one thing, one thing people are curious about is we haven't heard about, well, you know, the tablets version, I guess, in a while. So is there any updates on that you'd like to share, or is that still...
Unfortunately, sort of everything's on Siege and the next set right now.
Yep.
So we had gotten down a road where we had it working. We were doing this, like, we had to redo some asset bundling. There were a few different things, like we're starting to build the interface stuff. I mean, the PS4 build helped, like, figuring out a lot of stuff we had to do for tablet, but it kind of got put back burner for now while we get all of Siege in and all of, well, also the PS4 for Europe and for Japan. That required, you know, some canoodling. Japan has some specific requirements about how we treat currency, as an example, so we've had to work through that.
Fair enough.
What do you got here?
Really?
Yeah, I'd probably take it.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the card just because it's pretty slow. I mean, it can
No,
be
but
with enough.
it's not terrible.
No, it's not. Definitely not terrible. So we got a mosh pit on the wheel here. I guess we'll take it now. Nothing else there.
Really? I would take the Primal Prism, but...
Oh, I didn't even... Well, I'm not a huge fan of Primal Prism. But, I guess, yeah, it was an
I hate being, like, locked out resource-wise in terms of, like, thresholds. It drives me crazy. So I tend to prioritize that kind of stuff a little higher, I think, than most people.
Yeah, I
only
just don't
because
like
of my...
that shard specifically.
Oh, look at that. That's pretty good.
So I like Duelist and I like Sea Priest. So what do you like in here? I like Duelist.
I would take the Sea Priest.
All right.
He's really problematic if, like, things start to go
that is true.
away.
Yep.
It makes all the math just screwy.
Yeah, it does. So Sea Priest, so we'll put this over here.
And also, they hit. He hits your vampires.
Yeah.
3/5 flyers. That 5 is, you know, that's good.
Right.
Oh, that's great. The Spy. I would take the Spy.
Yep. Spy it is. Punisher or an Outflank? I think we go Outflank, right?
I would say Outflank, just to see what your combat tricks are going to be at one point.
Alright, so none of those Watchers or Hunters.
Hey, look at that.
So we'll get
All
rid
right,
of that
so let's go
now.
rare. Let's go Diamond or Blood rare. Here it is.
Well, that's a shame.
I can't see it yet.
It's a legendary, but it's not in our colors unless we want to splash Ruby for it, which we could do.
No, really? I don't think so.
I mean, I generally don't splash colors just for.
Oh, somebody's gonna get a Consult a Talon. I love that card.
I love that card as well. Such good value.
But you've got to kill.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. So I guess we'll take the kill. Give
you know what's better than Levan? And if is kill, you got kill in your hand. That doesn't, you know. What do you care?
Yep, that is true. If you've got it. So yeah, we'll pass. Give another awesome card to somebody else there in this draft. Why not? So yeah, let's take the kill. Let's do another giveaway here. So let's see. Up next, we'll do a a collector alternate. Let's do the Soul Marble Collector AA. So, again, all you gotta do is be active in the chat. Just type. So
Nice.
We've got a few good choices here. What are you liking?
I think the Umbral Guard is...
Umbral Guard? Yeah.
Especially if you can find some more Verdict. I think you're going to catch more Verdict, is my feeling.
Yeah.
And
I think,
that guy is...
I mean, I do really like Umbral Guard. Smokeoak Raker is also just really ridiculously good value with the double discard, but I'm happy to take Umbral Guard, so we'll grab that if that's what you want.
I think that's the way to go.
Alright, we're doing it. We're doing it. Alright.
Listen, I should warn you, even though I draft a lot, I'm not very good. So,
I mean, you're doing fine. Like, I probably would have taken Raker there myself, just because the ridiculous value to it, but I do love Umbral Guard as well. And if we're lucky, maybe we'll get another Into the Halls, and we'll just get all the verdicts, and then we'll just go crazy.
That's what I'm you're putting a lot of positive energy into the idea we're going to get more Verdict.
Nice. I love verdicts, so I'd be happy if that happens. So we got many choices here. Many choices. Alright, so we do have the Ender, which is a double verdict, deploy and deathcry. We've got another Deadeye, and a Noble and a Grizzy, and yeah, what are you liking here? Do we want the
it's I'm like it's all blurred out for me. Oh, okay, here we go.
Yeah, my internet's not very good.
I would say the I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, I'm happy with either the Deadeye or the Ender is what I would probably go between. So if
I would say Ender.
Yeah, let's go for the verdict. Why not? I like it.
Might as well just double down on the verdict. So I feel like that's the good choice.
Easy pick up here with another kill, so that's pretty good.
Oh, great! Look at this. A Darkened Night, 2 kills, a repel. Oh.
Oh, thanks, Jen. All those cupcakes falling onto Bella's head. Thank you for the cheer. Alright, so what are we getting here? Oh yeah, so the kill, of course. So let's draw the winner of the Soul Marble alternate art. Here we go. Alright, let's roll it. 81 people entered. We got Hex Manifesto. You've got yourself a Soul Marble alternate art. Just let me know your in-game name, please. Alright, so let's grab the kill. What do we get next? There's another Diplomat. There's a Gruesome Deed. Charge Hulk. Those are the 3 that I'm liking. So which one do you like here? Alright, let's grab the in-game name. So where is he? Where's Manifesto? There he is. Alright. You just typed and very nice. So yeah, let me know your in-game name. And I'll put that in my file. There it is. Alright, thank you very much.
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't think we need another.
Maybe Charge Hulk? Charge Hulk, if you have the right... I mean, your champion's going to be able to verdict, too.
Yeah, I like Charge Hulk. It's just good value, so I'm happy to take that. That seems fine.
Good value. It triggers off the Sea Priest. It lets you use your champ. You know, if you get the verdict champ, you're going to be able to...
Yep. Sounds good. Alright, so let me put your name there. So that was for the Soul Marble. Alright, file save. Alright. Next giveaway, we'll do one for you PvE players. We'll do a Kickstarter Mercenaries. So if you like the PvE, then get typing in the chat. Okay. So what do we like here, Cory? What do we like?
Not a great pack. We thought Naive Lackey's not terrible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's fine. Perfectly fine. So we'll grab him. How are we looking here? So curve is looking pretty decent. Let's have a look at that view. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Some more 2s would be nice. That's a Cruel Sentence. So we can get another verdict here. Do we want it? Yeah, we want that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright, we're going for it. Everyone else is taking all the death chances.
Now you stayed focused, and now it's starting to pay dividends.
Yeah.
So I'll give you something to give away too at the end of the stream. Let's wait till after we've drafted. It's too much going on, but
yeah.
Whatever. What I could we could give away one of any sleeve in the game or something.
I'm
trying to think of something cool.
They'll be like, I'll have colored sleeve. So maybe
can't get
maybe stipulate
none of any except for the exalted sleeves.
Yeah, just a bit of stipulation there. It's like, now I'm Cullen.
That's right.
All right, yeah, I'm sure people would appreciate that if that's what you'd like to do.
Sure.
Ooh, all right, we got a Corpse Fly. We got a Cruel Sentence.
What do we get? I can't see. It's not coming up on my screen. There's lag.
Yeah,
All right, we got
100 kilobytes to work with, Cory. 100 kilobytes. It's quite.
Oh boy.
Hopefully, I'll upgrade it soon. So, Corpse Fly, we got Cruel Sentence, we got Gruesome Deed or a Vampire. I'm thinking Corpse Fly. I just love Corpse Flies.
Yeah, take it. You didn't get that last one, so I think
the plan with this guy, the guy who's always getting attacked by these insects, is he always going? Is that happening every set? Is that just something you're planning to continue for till the end of time?
we do it every if I remember. Like I think typically it's me. Like I'm like, oh, remember put the dude that's getting killed by or getting attacked by. It's the same guy for sure.
Yep.
But sometimes we forget. Like I think this last set, I think we forgot.
Right.
And then afterwards, like, oh, we didn't put that guy in. Dang it!
You can always
I get mad.
You can always do an alternate up with him. To
Yeah, that's a good idea.
At some
point,
point,
do that for sure. If there's a bug, I mean, I don't know if we have any bugs in the set.
Yeah.
I think we do.
And there is a few. Yeah, there's some. But
yeah. So Kuda coins. That's a great pickup.
Yeah, I think that's what we take here. Like I don't mind Inquisition, just a double blood kind of, and it can be a good card, but so I like taking a coin.
Situational, but
yeah, we got nothing here, so
when you get lucky with it, it's brutal.
Yeah,
nothing feels worse.
Yeah. Cory is frozen.
So now we got nothing.
Sorry about that, folks. Let me fix that. There we go.
I would probably just hate draft the strategist, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking.
That
guy can be a
yeah, he can. I lost to him about a week ago. Just that one card killed me. I just couldn't attack, couldn't defend. It's like, ah! Right. So, Grizzly is what I'm liking here. We also got a Bastion, a Warlord, and Queen's Guard. Not that there's... I mean, it's basically between Grizzly and Bastion.
I would say the Grizzly for sure.
I like Grizzly. Good card. Being able to just Frost Form. Frost Form's just another great mechanic. Just really, really good.
Another one that the AI is not great with, so... When you're making those siege decks.
I have to say, when it comes to Portal, that mechanic, I love it. It's a great mechanic. I assume that you guys were like, how can we... Was it from the mindset of like, how can we make Conscript better? Or is it just something that, it's like, hey, how about we just do this, and it's happened to turn out being better than Conscript, like a better version?
Yeah. I feel like, Ryan has been leading these sets and doing an amazing job, and I feel like what he's been focused on is just how do I make new, fun things in the digital space and stay true to what is great about Hex, which is, trying to be high-end, competitive, well-balanced, and fun. And I think that's where that stuff's coming from. I think next set, I think people are going to be pretty blown away by what we have next set, like in terms of taking advantage of the digital space. Do you want to
maybe tell us something? Maybe a
No, at this point, I don't want to spoil it because I feel like we're going to do a whole article and show it off, but it's pretty out there.
I tried, folks. I tried.
I think it's one of the most out there things. I will say it's the most out there thing we've done in the game yet for a normal set.
That is exciting.
Yeah, so I mean it should be, pretty crazy. I think people are going to be pretty surprised by us exploring some pretty interesting space. So that's exciting. But I have my hats off to Ryan and Jared and Cory. They are doing a great job. Oh wow! So Pipit Pal, that doesn't do much for us.
Nope.
The Mind Rack Sorcerer is great.
Yep. It's a shame to give someone a Naturalist and a Pipit Pal. They're two very... the Pipit Pal... they're both very, very dangerous cards, but oh well. We already gave someone
dragon drafting... hate drafting never really seems to work.
I'm not saying to hate draft here. I'm just... they're just really good cards. But yeah, Mind Rack is great. So,
yeah,
I will try to get to your questions soon, guys. We're just focusing on the draft at the moment, so I'm sorry that I haven't got to.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be on long enough for us to.
Yeah, while we're playing the games, we'll be able to do a bit of that. I think will be better timing. But one question we do have here.
We're trying to draft here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's continue with the draft. So we'll take the Mind Rack. Let's put him in the deck.
Yeah, I think that's the right call.
And
that guy's great.
We got Repel and Kill. So what? I like Repel just because the reduced cost, but also, they both have the upside of being to be able to use, you double block and then, or they double block and you use it. Repel obviously doesn't have that scenario, so there is a bit to think about.
I don't know.
There.
I feel like Yeah, but all the trigger guys, like the guys that aren't attacking, he just got so much upside
Yeah, that's
on
true.
kill.
Yeah,
I feel
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. I mean, obviously,
Again, you're not going to lose to that grand strategist probably isn't attacking, so the repel not doing much for you while it's
exactly.
sitting there fucking you over with like.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so
You like, and again, this is the kind of deck that I love, where it's heavy on removal,
yeah.
and then tries to create a couple of threats that are very difficult to deal with, and that's where.
That is, however, where you can get absolutely fluked over by going up against someone with a Death Chant deck. They're just like, oh, please keep killing, please kill them all, and then they're just like,
we haven't seen. I doubt there's somebody else in this draft.
No, I doubt it as well. I'm just saying, like, that is one of the downsides. Like, one of the upsides to doing the Death Chant build is you want your opponents to have more removal.
This might be the wrong choice. I love the Monsagi, but I also like the Hunger.
Hunger.
That's a tough one.
I think there's a decent chance Hunger wheels, and I think we do actually need more 2-drops.
Yeah.
And I'm a big fan of Deadeye, so yeah, I'm happy to take that.
Oh yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he's good. Nothing too exciting here, in my opinion. Diamond Ice is what I like, though.
What are you liking?
The Diamond Ice. The Ice is just amazing.
Yeah. The other thing I would say though is that with the verdicts, the spirits are not a bad thing. So the Ethereal Caller is not bad either.
True. Let's see. Well, the reason why the reason why I'm thinking the Ice is because we have a lot of playables already. So
all right,
we already
do it.
Yeah, all right. Let's do it. Because we already have
that Royal Cut. That card drove me crazy when that was in the standard draft format. Yeah. Ugh. I hated that card.
I actually went against someone during a Kismet draft several weeks ago where they had, I think, 3 or 4 of them. And he was like, he might have even been 4 colors. And I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then he's like, he plays like, in his tricolor or 4-color deck, he's like augmented twice, augmented awakening. And I'm like, killing him, he's getting back, and I'm just like, stop!
No, that was his strategy, right?
Yeah, like it was just like...
the evasion strategy is great.
The thing that annoyed me, though, was I think it was one of those games where 2-color was just generally what I stick to. And he's sitting there just getting all the thresholds and augmented awakening, and I didn't even get my 2nd color again. But a lot of good choices here again.
Another Mind Rack, I think that's great.
Yeah, I like Mind Rack, so let's grab him.
Lethal, like you're going to be able to dump the Diplomat, I mean, you got a lot of stuff here you can dump to really focus in.
Yeah.
You got some great cards.
Yeah, we can get rid of Diplomat. We can get rid of we can get rid of these vampires if we want to.
Yeah.
We can get rid of the Lackey. Let's get
again, we're still in process here. What do we got? Yeah. Whew. So funny trying to figure out what the cards are when they're in low res, like super pixelated.
Sorry. Hopefully I'll get better internet soon. But yeah, I didn't think. I mean, yeah, it's just my internet trying to send it to Skype and the stream at the same time. Surprisingly, I'm not dropping frames. But yeah, so we've got Lackey, we've got Outflank, and that's pretty much it. There's the Hallowed Radiance, but we don't care.
I'd probably grab the Outflank. You're probably not playing the Lackeys at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Outflanks, at least you can if it ends up being a heavy creature matchup, you're gonna have some options to sideboard in some more combat tricks.
So we got Sapper's Charge here, which is pretty much the only thing we can play that we would want. So we'll grab that. We might even we'll see.
Yeah, probably not. We got so much removal at this point that it's probably kill.
Yeah, it is a limited reach, so we'll throw that over there. So let's see, we got Repel, double Cruel Sentence, double Deadeye. So we kind of do want more 2-drops if we can still get some. Like, I think there's a chance we get another Deadeye, which would be not bad.
Yeah.
So there's another coin here. There's also a Noble Citizenry and a Bastion. So we're Kuna coin, the diamond one.
I think the Noble Citizenries aren't bad. I mean, if you run those, again, you know.
Yeah, I think we take it. I don't know if we can.
Or there's the Lacuna coin.
I mean, whichever you want. What do you reckon here? Coin or Noble? I'm happy with either.
Let's go with the Noble.
All right. So now we've got a Fang of the Mountain God, the 1-drop 2/2 that hurts you each turn, or a Bastion, but and a Shard Call. So
I don't think you're gonna play any of this stuff.
Yeah,
I'd
I
probably
guess
grab the.
I'm thinking
I'd
Fang
probably
just...
grab.
Sorry?
Yeah, maybe actually.
The reason...
He's a great one drop.
Yeah, I was just saying in case we're against like a super aggressive deck, because we don't have
Yeah,
that many
yeah.
too, so
That's a good point.
Yeah. All right.
He's a 1, so it's...
So nothing here we want, so we could just deny a Briar Legion, I guess. Stop someone getting too many. Or yeah, that seems fine. All right. I haven't. Sorry. So giveaway, right? What was the giveaway I was doing? I forgot. I guess I didn't. Oh yeah, I did say the Kickstarter mercenary. So we're gonna start off with a. We'll do the Scion of Uranaz. Let's do that guy. So let me get that ready. So again, all you gotta do is be active in the chat, and that'll give you a chance to win. So Scion of Uranaz, the Kickstarter mercenary, from the Dragons. Was it Dragon's Blood deck? I think that's what it was called. So we've got Mosquito, Haunting Cry, Bastion, Wakuna Coin, and a Charge Bot as possibilities. Just a coin, I guess?
You know, yeah, probably.
All right.
It's between that and the Charge Bot, but yeah, probably the Wakuna Coin.
All right, coin it is. All right, folks, I'll draw that winner in a moment. So we do have an Ethereal Caller now, so I guess we take that since you wanted it before. So
yeah, I would say that's probably the right choice.
Alrighty. Let's have a look here. So, alright, chat's going crazy. I can't keep up with it. Let me draw the winner. Here we go, folks. So we got 70 people entered into this one. So again, all you gotta do is be active in the chat to be eligible for all these giveaways. And as long as you're typing, I think it's like every 20 minutes, that'll be fine. So we can grab a 2-drop here. We've got Spoil or a Razor Edge Duelist. I think we go the Duelist for an actual body.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty. Alright, let me draw the winner here. So this is for the Sign of Uranaz. Let's go. Here we go. The winner is... How do I say this? Angrahaka. Angrahaka. You are the winner. Just let me know your in-game name. Thank you. And let's draw another winner. Let's do a winner for the Monkey of the Nine Tails as well. So Angrahaka, you've got that one, and there's your in-game name. Thank you. No worries, AJ. So I'm just letting the thing pick the cards for us here because they're not in our colors, so whatever. Alright, so let's get that. So that was for the Scion. Let's draw a winner for the Monkey of the Nine Tails, another Kickstarter mercenary. Here we go. Crack de Chevalier. I don't know how to say this name. We'll just call him Crack. Crack, you've got it. Please confirm you're here and let me know your in-game name as well. Alright, so what do we got here? So nothing there. Oh, I guess we probably should put these in the bin. Get these wild cards out of there. So we've got to make some cuts. Not too many, but we've got to make some. Let's get rid of that. So we've got the 3 coins. Let's see. So we got... Oh, you don't want the resource optimizing floobs.
So you want to drag that mind rack down. You got one of them up in the top and one...
Alright, so just do that. That should fix it. Did it? No. Come. Oh, you mean up here? There he is. Yeah. Alright. So he's back in there. So we've got... So I think we get rid of Augmented Awakening.
Yeah, for sure.
We don't... So let's see. So we definitely want the Dark of Night. We want the Ender. Charge Hope we could get rid of. It's decent.
Yeah, go down. What else is in the reserve?
Oh yeah, sorry. We'll look at Blood first. So Blood, we've got nothing too exciting that we... the flyers are fine.
There's nothing in there too.
And then with Diamond, we've got the Diplo, an Outflank, but I think we've already got one in here. No, we don't. But I don't. Oh, we got the Runic Strike, plenty of removal. So we have to make at least one cut.
Yeah. So you're what do you at? How many resources is that? Is that 3?
We do have an Outflank in here.
3. So you need to cut 2 cards.
Yeah, if we want to do 17, which in this deck we've got the Into the Hole, so we don't mind getting flooded if we get that down, of course. So yeah, we can do that. So I think Charge Hulk is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
We don't have. Let's see. So Noble Citizenry, our best targets. I mean, Umbral Guard is a good target, so maybe we want to keep it in just for that. But we've also got the Fly, Ethereal Caller. So yeah, probably leave that in.
I would say the one issue I think right now we're having is that we don't have any great, like the one like problem attacker that they're going to have
No,
to
I
deal
know.
with.
I know.
Sadly,
We didn't
that's
get
not,
many
that's the
great
one.
threats, so we're kind of reliant on just having all the removal and hopefully what we have remaining wins as the game, or the verdict value. We got a decent amount of verdict potential, so we could get phantoms or even a Nightfall can win the game, and that's where the Umbral Guard could help us out as well.
Yeah, or you lose the bear and lose the. Let's see, lose the bear and go up one. Let's see.
All right, give me just a second. I'm going to put this guy's name in my winner list. Save that. All right, so what was I doing? Sorry, scrolling up.
So go up on our main deck. So if you take out the bear and one other, like the razor, the 2-drop.
Runic Strike.
And
I was thinking.
Yeah, no, not Runic Strike. Take out the girl. What's her name?
I think we kind of need her. How many actual bodies do we have?
So I'm saying if you edge out of the 2-drop and the 5-drop and put in both vampires,
okay.
so that you can try and control the air a little bit better.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yep.
Because you have a lot of removal, so you might be able to keep them out of the sky, and then use that as your sort of win condition, is that you're going to be coming over the top.
I like that. I think so. Yeah, I think I kind of want the duelist. Do we want to outflank? Do we care about outflank? Or actually,
yeah, I think you're gonna need some combat tricks if you're gonna win this.
How about the Sea Priest? Do we care about him? Like getting extra health on our dudes? It's not a huge. Like, we don't have a huge.
Especially with the two guys with lethal. Also, that's pretty good.
True.
Making those guys 1/5s is not terrible. Like I feel like I wouldn't get rid of him.
So you were thinking duelist, or what else? What was the other option? What does chat think?
Well, there was the bear and the duelist were the ones that I had said, but probably the duelist at this point. I just don't think. I think you're going to be able to control the ground and then try and just go over the top, and so the duelist isn't not really helping too much with that.
Okay.
So you're probably going to be able to pump up, for instance, hopefully, pump up the mind racks to make the ground game screwy. Use combat tricks, and then hopefully removals for the air, and you can come over the top.
Yep.
That's sort of how I would try and build it.
All right. So for some reason I thought we were down to 23, but we're not yet. So we still got to make one more cut.
Let's see.
I don't want to cut any.
Yeah, that's always the hard part, right? Like, what do you cut?
I was just thinking.
Well, I mean, I guess you could drop the outflank.
Yeah,
probably.
That's what I was leaning towards, just
okay.
because we have a good amount of removal.
Yeah, I got a lot of removal, so that's probably fine.
All right, let's get our coins in there. So let's get those.
You got a socketed card
we
too.
We even had sappers, but yeah, we didn't want that, did we? So yeah, socketed cards.
Yeah,
so Umbral Guard, with Umbral Guard, I generally will buff his health just so he's harder to deal with, and he can then be more defensive. But in this deck, I guess we might want to go for the more damage. What are you thinking?
I think you go with the 1-shot +2 attack.
Yeah, all right.
That way, every time you verdict, he's doing 4 from that point on.
Let's do it. So verdict champion as well?
Yeah, for sure.
Alright. Dooney Zedek. Alright, let's do it. Alright, let's get our shards in. So we need to get probably slightly more diamond. We want to make sure we get that into the holes down ASAP. So let's see how many we've got. We've got the 3. So 8 blood. Whoops. Wait, no. Yeah. There we go. Alright, wait. Nope, I stuffed it up. I did have the right. So 8. So 6, 7, 8, 9 diamond, 8 blood is what I'm going to go for here. Do you agree with that? Because I think all our blood, except the corpse fly and dark of night. Yeah, there are 2. Whereas our diamond, I mean, they're pretty.
That looks like the right mix.
But yeah, I think we want to make sure we get that into the holes down if we have it. So go just the one.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, folks, let's search for a game. There we go. All right, boom. So all right. The last giveaway. Let's do another one. Let's do one of my favorite set 1 cards. The one you guys would have seen me play a lot with. Replicator's Gambit alternate art. Here we go. Another Kickstarter card. So again, just being active in chat. And yeah, if you have questions now for Cory, just do @HexedHavoc, followed by a question, and I'll try my best to catch them. The chat is scrolling pretty quick, so I might miss some. We also got some in the forums. Let me go have a look there and see what's already hasn't been talked about. Oh, right. So here's one thing. So the PS4 changes. Is that like coming in the next patch, perhaps, or is that going to be later on, or?
No, it'll be a little bit later. Again, everything focus-wise is just trying to get Siege out as quickly as possible because I felt like that was something that could really be exciting for players and bring, PvE players, give them something that's new and fun. And so I really wanted to make that the focus. And so everything else is sort of, between that, making sure the next set's ready to go because, like I said, there's some interesting stuff going on that required some pretty heavy-duty engineering. And then also the launch of the PS4 for EU and Japan. Each of them had very specific requirements that were different than the US, so we had to challenge the team to get all that stuff done. Luckily, EU is now out, and Japan, I think, I'm hoping next week we can hit Japan.
Awesome.
And again, who knows if we have an audience in Japan? I don't know. I just felt like it's one of the biggest TCG markets in the world, and we could get the game translated, and they're not put off by things that are complex, and clearly our game is pretty complex, so I felt like it was a good opportunity, especially since there's a reasonably big install base for the PlayStation in Japan. So, but we do want to get those in. The other issue, though, is we were trying to figure out how to make it an option, right? I don't want you to, got to figure out how to manage that. Do we continue to offer both, and then we have to support both, which is just a lot more work, or do we switch it all over to sort of the format of the way you build on the PS4? A little bit of an open question there still, too. So,
yeah, that's fair.
But we'll definitely get to it.
So Stromwar asks, will there be more development focus on AZ3 once Set 9 and Siege are done?
Well, there continues to be. I mean, it's still in development. We're still doing stuff. It's just slower because we've had to balance resources against whatever whatever the biggest priority is.
Yep.
But all that stuff is slowly creeping along. Clearly the heart and soul of Hex is in PvE, and I'm trying to make sure I put in the stuff that is most going to potentially turn the dial and get more people playing the game. Mm-hmm. And so, the question is always, does going from 50 hours of PvE content that we have currently, or going to, adding 30 more hours of PvE of the same type of PvE content, does that going to bring us a bunch of new people, or does that, serve a smaller group of people that are already in the game? That's always a question. And so for me, things like Siege that are a new way to play and give you an exciting thing to do with PvE become much more of a priority than simply putting in more nodes and more dungeons. But on that note, we do have some plans about that specifically, where we're trying to come up with new and fun ways to make that exciting, and how can we make it innovative as opposed to just more of the same. And that's what we're working on. I would look at something like raids as an example, and I would say that's a bigger opportunity for us in terms of getting more people playing Hex than simply putting out AZ3.
Yeah,
I would
agree.
Inclined, right. I would be more inclined to say, put a heavy-duty focus of resources on figuring out finally how to get raids in so that we have multiplayer PvE content. That, to me, I feel like that's one of those. We have a lot of shots at sort of, there's a lot of different features and a lot of different things we're going to do in the game. It's not just about longevity. We have a growing player base. We still have thousands of new players every day. I look at the totals, we get a bunch of new people constantly, and the PlayStations help with that. And when we go on to other consoles, it'll help with that. And when we get a tablet, it'll help with that. So we're going to continue that. But beyond just getting onto platforms that give us the chance to talk to new people, it's what kinds of gameplay potentially serve the people who would like Hex in a way that finally gets them to install and start playing, or brings back the people that sort of moved away from the game's been out for a long time.
Yep.
I mean, I cycle through lots of games, so the expectation that everyone's going to stick with it forever is crazy. But if you're coming up with fresh stuff and new ways to play, then it's kind of a new game, and that's for me a big focus and a big priority. And so I would say, we're going to keep iterating on things like Siege. We're going to keep working on fun things. Like we have some ideas about dungeons. We've got lots of stuff, but something big like raids, that to me represents sort of the holy grail of that, chance to reinvent how people feel about, PvE as an example.
Yeah, I mean, as you probably already know, I've been like hammering for it. Like I just want raids so bad, as many other people.
No, I know,
do.
and it's such a giant
it's very
challenge.
exciting. So, can you maybe talk about what is the biggest challenge to actually getting it going? Like what, or is that something you don't want to talk about?
Well, I mean, the interface component, how to manage how two players play together, and how priorities and targeting works, how the AI deals with it, and how the AI plays. Having the things that I really want, like the experience to be rather cinematic. So, there's a lot of work that goes into, building out new battle boards and all the other things that I want a raid to represent, including all the scripted triggers and how do you make it a puzzle. There's a lot that goes into making it, once you've tackled all the logistical problems of how it plays and how it feels great, and then all the polish and fun game design. We've got a lot of that done. We've designed a lot of raids. One of the things we have to have, that we had to, conquer is sticky damage and direct attacks. And so direct attacks, again, another one of those things that's sort of a core functionality component that we have to solve that, as part of the raids. Without direct attacks, being able to pick the target, other troops to attack, raids won't work. You have to have that.
Oh, okay.
That's a weird one, right? You wouldn't think it, but
no.
Having created the idea of raids back with the WoW TCG and spent many, many years making them, not having direct attacks just closes up too much design space. And to make the most fulfilling raid experience, you really have to have direct attacks.
So it'd be basically this whole new experience as well, on top of what we're currently, the way we currently play Hex. It'll be
yeah, for sure.
All right,
and that's great design space to have. We can use it everywhere else too.
It is,
But again, it's just one of those core system elements that we have to sort of tackle, and so there's a lot to it.
Yeah.
But again, it's one of the things that's on the roadmap, and it's something we want to do. But again, that's part of that larger conversation of how the resources get spent at any given moment.
Yep. All right. So we have some other questions. I mean, there's a lot. I'm trying to just find. I'm trying not to pass you guys in the chat here. I have to scroll back up. So someone did mention. I can't find the exact question, but it was something to do with, just mentioned the roadmap. Is there any plans to do like a public roadmap type of thing?
I understand. I mean, of course, that would be. I feel like all that does is set up people for disappointment, because all of the we try to be agile. I try to be like, I tell everyone, and you'll see it like with decisions we make about unbanning cards or banning card, whatever it is. I try not to stay with a decision because I made a decision. I try to make the best decision in any moment, and things change. Everything changes all the time, and I'm trying to look at what people are saying and what people are, more importantly, doing, or who's playing, and try to take all of that in all the time, to make the best decision possible. And so putting out a roadmap, to me, just feels like we all know all the stuff we want to do. We've talked about it. There's a dozen things that any serious Hex player can rattle off instantaneously that we want to put in the game. So me simply saying, like, here's the priorities, or here's how we're going to do it, is me setting up everyone to be either, to be disappointed, honestly. And I feel like that's a bad call. So not something that I'm really excited about doing, honestly.
Fair enough.
And I know there are a lot of games out there that do great jobs doing roadmaps, but I feel like they are rolling stuff out on a schedule that's based on what they're trying to accomplish with the game very specifically and very linearly. Whereas Hex is just not that game at this point. It's old enough, and we've been doing enough stuff where it's trying to be agile and figure out, like, okay, people are really, like, if Siege comes out and people love it, then me tripling down on trying to get the PvE components to go around Siege and the reward systems and really blow that out, that becomes the best decision. And so all of a sudden the roadmap changes based on, how players are playing and what they like. So that's sort of my take on that. I like the question somebody asked: what happens if I get hit by a bus? Actually,
I wasn't going
the
to ask that
servers will
one.
close.
I just figured that you've got like a self-destruct mechanism. It's like, screw you all. If I don't
Exactly.
get hexed, you all don't get hexed.
Exactly. I wear a Fitbit style watch that when my pulse stops, the servers lock instantly.
Yep.
And all the data is just deleted.
Yep.
So.
Oh, that sucks. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen. All right. So
No, are you kidding me? The game will live on.
Yeah.
And then I'll manifest myself inside of the game itself.
Nice.
And so I'll just draft for all eternity.
That sounds good. All right.
You'll be drafting at 3 a.m. and you'll see like my name pop up in the draft queue. And oh my god! Like
it's Cory's ghost.
That's right. My ghost will draft, and then I can in chat I can tell you about the afterlife.
Sweet.
How exciting it is.
I would love to hear about it. All right, so oh man, there's a lot of questions. Let's have a look. Let's check some of the ones on the forums here. So I guess
that's what I was looking at. That's where the bus question came.
Yeah,
up.
that's where the bus one was. So
has a bunch of questions.
Sorry. I mean, if you want to just answer some of them, like read it out and answer if you'd like to do that. Go ahead.
So I talked about a little bit before, but the state of giving away $1,000 every Saturday and Sunday, and having 70 people show up. Not optimal. Clearly, I'm trying to figure out how best to serve the community, and so I felt like having four prizing tournaments every Saturday Sunday where you could really build a schedule around it, and it'd be like more of a lifestyle thing. We're switching the Saturdays and Sundays, so seal or having limited or constructed, so you have a trade-off. But if there's not that many people, then I don't know. I got to figure out what people want, right? Like, I'm always willing to listen. The problem is all the threads about what we should do. If you're not in the first 3 or 4 pages, I'm probably not reading it because it just descends into arguing, and I cannot do it.
That is true.
Like I'm gonna have to hire someone to read it all and then give me notes or something, I guess. But I do my best.
I'll do it for you.
Thank you.
Speaking of cash,
we had that at Blizzard as an example. We had people at Blizzard. Their whole job was just combing through the forums and creating crib sheets of the good ideas. So we're planning on integrated UI. I talked a little about that. Mm-hmm. The double backs, yeah, like the auction house stuff. Where it's like you look at the PS4 auction house stuff. That's a little better, right? Like, that's kind of because of the double back stuff.
So, speaking of the tournament, the cash tournaments, is there any plans or is there talk on the prize structure? I don't know if you saw my thread or if you've seen what other people are saying.
Yeah, I definitely saw it. I read that, and I definitely am thinking about it. I'm trying to figure out like what the best thing is. And again, this has always been like I've had arguments the length of my career about how you support a serious and competitive TCG, from people that felt like giving away money was the worst idea ever to people who thought it was absolutely mandatory, and sort of everything in between. And for I've been in the games industry for 25 years, and about 20 of them have been focused on TCGs, and I've had these conversations with so many people. The great thing about Hex is, again, it's digital, so I can switch it up. Like, I would love to figure out, again, going back to the draft thing, Ryan and I have talked about it, what are things we can do that we can, at that 8 or 9 week mark, what are some things we could do? And we've got some ideas to mix it up so it's completely out of the box, something totally new, where you're, and again, your imagination is the limit. And I feel like that's the place where, as in a small, agile company that's built an incredible engine and is digital, we can reinvent and do things that are really cool. So when it comes to the tournaments, like what are the things that people want? Like I look at the Hex thing we did last time, and I probably made a mistake. I felt like doing the little alternate art commons or uncommons would have been like, again, like a lot of stuff comes from me, like kind of seat of my pants, like we did sleeves before. Let's do all these little chasey, fun common and uncommons that are, animated. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, did you get a game?
Oh, I was about to just add some text to the screen just now saying everyone is scared, and then we find a game. But yeah,
Nice.
all right, we finally found an opponent.
But I'm hearing people like, well, if there'd been sleeves, I probably would have played more. So yeah, maybe I made a mistake. You know, I should have done sleeves again. I was just trying to mix it up.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think there's other things you could do there in terms of prizes outside of sleeves and all that. But yeah, I mean, I don't mind it either way. In terms of the different ways to play, have you thought of doing stuff where like you're drafting with cards and all the cards are cards that have equipment that then can be used? Would that be something that's doable in the future?
Yeah, I mean, definitely we talked about it for sure. Like, we talked about putting in PvE cards into the packs and doing equipment stuff. We talked about all that kind of stuff. And it just comes down to sort of balance and whether or not it's fun. Yeah. So all that stuff's definitely out there, and we are considering lots of different things. So it's really just a matter of, you know, trying stuff and seeing what works and what people like, and then, you know, not getting too caught up in any one thing and keep mixing it up, and sometimes it's going to work and sometimes it's not, and then we try to listen to everyone's feedback. You know, with Kismet, I never intended for Kismet to be necessarily going for the final 2 months, and so, you know, getting the feedback like, oh, people were kind of still, I guess, bummed they weren't able to catch some of the sleeves at the end, and also talking about like wanting to draft some more of, you know, 887. And I felt like, okay, that's fine. And also, if we do it the last like 3-4 weeks leading up to Set 9 release, then we have, you know, a nice little transition point from being back in our regular sets and then going to 999, which is going to be very interesting with the stuff we're doing in Set 9.
Yeah, Rooster Saw said the craziest thing you've done yet is in Set 9 or something like along those lines. I'm excited.
Yeah, I would say it is. We'll see like what people think, but I definitely think it's one of the craziest things we've done yet.
That sounds awesome.
But for other questions,
there's a lot of questions. I'm trying to like keep track. So someone was saying something.
Yeah, and you're trying to play. You got it. You've got it rough now.
If you want to just pick ones out there that you're happy to answer, that works. If you're able to see the chat.
I don't see too much. I don't see too much in the forums at this point. Like, there was only a few questions.
Yeah, there's a lot in chat right now. If you're able to view chat. So someone's asking about Team Sealed was the most fun they played in the WoW TCG. I guess that's more to do with
kidding, right? But it's just anytime you do 4 live players, I promise you think you're gonna like it, but I promise you won't. Like the amount of time in between your turns and with past priorities and trying to click through past priorities with 4 people playing simultaneously. I mean, I don't think you're gonna like it. And so it's one of those things where it's going to be a ton of work for us to put in, and I feel like it would be a negative play experience.
The way I look at that, in terms of like, you know, the game being slower because more players, the way I look at that and the way I think about it is like, I'm not going to notice that downtime or delay between, but you know, because it's a lot, you know, longer turns and stuff. It's because in most cases you're going to be on like a voice chat with a friend because you're playing with a friend. And then, therefore, the downtime, you're not even going to notice it because you're going to be strategizing together and talking and all that sort of stuff. So, to me, that's kind of how I see it. So, I don't necessarily think that would be too big of a negative. Some people, like if they're not playing with an actual friend, they're just random queue type of thing. Then, they're going to notice it more.
Yeah, no, it's a good point, and definitely multiplayer is one of those places where we're going to see potential sort of, you know, game-changing interest in Hex. I feel like, again, that's why I want raids. We have so much work done already on raids, trying to figure that out. And some of the same tech we would need for a 4-player game, we would need for raids as well, which is like our rotating board concept and all that stuff.
Rotating board concept. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, the notion that the board's split in half, and you can slide the top or bottom to see a board that's to the right or the left.
That's a cool way of doing it. Like, because I remember Colin years ago said about how the plan was to like where you just slide the whole screen across to see what your friend's doing. But if you're just sliding the bottom half or the top half, that's cool. I like that.
Right, there'd be buttons on the like kind of built into the sides, cool. And then you could click it, and it would slide everything to the right, and you see their board, or slide everything to the left and see that board.
That's cool.
So you could have multiplayer, like 3 players versus, and then the top would be potentially completely different. It wouldn't even look like the Hex battle board. It would look like the raid area,
Right.
And you would potentially see art. I mean, there'd be a lot going on, and that was part of the like, oh, I really want that to blow that out and to make it feel super special. You're doing good so far. I'm liking this. I'm thinking noble citizenry on top of that.
This guy must be somewhat new. He just played a nothing devoted emissary there. So back to the hand he goes. Now he's like, oh, whoops. I guess he didn't realize.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. Sorry, Bran. I guess I'll say hi.
Oh well. Maybe he has.
Actually, speaking of that, like, so one thing I've heard lots of people talk about, and I also have the same thing, is like, say, especially in Evo queues, I see a lot of PS4 players, and I just want to say to them, you don't need to run 60 or whatever cards and all this sort of stuff. I want to help them out. Is there any update on potential chat for the PS4 players?
Well, I want it in eventually, but it's a lot of work to do it. They have very specific requirements in terms of how their chat works.
Fair enough.
So it's not. One
thing I've suggested.
It's not me. Sony has specific rules about what kind of filters and what kind of, like, a bunch of rules in terms of if your game has chat or not. Yeah. And so for us to redo our chat system to have all that stuff in place requires a ton of work.
Yeah, I think one thing that you guys could do as a temporary measure to help out is just a bit more tooltip pop-ups for PS4 players. Like when they join an Evo, a thing saying, in this format, you only need 40 cards in your deck, including, just stuff like that I think would be important. Because, it's something that I see the most.
We're also... One of the things that Chris is working on also is redoing the tutorial for PS4.
Nice.
We're trying to redo it to be way more streamlined and way more intuitive. So you just sort of play, and it tooltips out all of the different things that you should know. Mm-hmm. So we're redoing the tutorial from scratch again for PS4.
Yeah.
We've made so many tutorials for this game. I got to tell you, everyone we've ever worked with or been partnered with or that gets hired to come in and give us advice, it's always the same thing. Like TCGs are just so difficult and so hard to like wrap your mind around so much parsed information that it always, like, the low-hanging fruit's always like, you know what, you need
this is the guy who took the Clash of Steel. We passed that in the draft. That's funny. All right, we didn't lose much there.
It's always about better tutorial, so people understand, and then they can play, and it's so much fun. So we've done so many tutorials, and we're doing another one. So hooray!
All right, I guess we just noble here and get aggressive.
I feel like that's the choice. I think you noble onto the...
I guess another thing I also think would be cool to have in client is just like on the main page, you've got on the left side, we've got the, what's it called, the calendar thing to show people of events and stuff. I think what would be kind of cool, and it would just kind of help out for new players as well, is maybe on the top right side, whenever the official stream is live, it'll say stream is live and have a snapshot of the stream. So you'll see like a picture, and you could have that like update every 5 minutes or something with just a new snapshot. And that's just that way it lets people know that, hey, the official stream's live, you can win prizes here, you can learn here, all that sort of stuff. Because, it's something, obviously, you're doing every day. And so that way it just informs people that, hey, the stream's live. And potentially you could...
One of the other things I'm trying to do, definitely trying to figure out how to help the streamers. We definitely want more people engaging that part of the game. I talked to Dino about some ideas. Look at that. That's pretty funny.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So I talked to Dino about some ideas. One of the ideas we talked about, again, like, I know I love to do this, like, talk about stuff that we haven't really done yet, and then it's, but potentially maybe coming up with a token system where we can have tokens we could give to all the streamers to give out, and then the tokens could be used in-game for rewards, or potentially that would be if you got a certain number of them, then you would qualify to enter into a tournament that we're doing. So we're definitely talking about some ways to support the. So
instead of doing like draft codes and the codes to give out, they just.
But we can still.
It's just a currency.
We can still do all that. It's just like that kind of stuff feels like, you could get that anywhere, right? Like. And so, but coming up with some proprietary rewards for the streamers.
I think that, like, a way to expand on that, like having a streamer currency that people can earn from just sitting and watching streams, like, you know, like the official stream.
Right.
You could earn a current, like a specific currency that's in game that then has its own little store similar to the Shark Mart. That would be kind of cool. Because then you could also
something like that.
Yeah,
where
you could do that.
Give out, like, again, if we gave the streamers these tokens, because we have 1 million tokens in the back end, so like we used to use them we've used them in the past for other things, like whatever. But making a streamer token is super easy, and if we said, oh hey, people who stream, we can give you X amount of them, and everyone that comes in and watches your stream gets you can give them all a token, and then people can go in the game and be like, oh, I have X number of tokens, and
that's basically what I'm. That's basically what I'm referring to.
Yeah, no, exactly.
To Hacky just mentioned, you're referring to Twitch drops, and that's exactly, you know, I think that system is a good place to be utilized, and just giving tokens as those Twitch drops would be awesome. Because then you could literally change the rewards and do whatever you want.
Sure, or make it. Hey, it's like a sealed deck tournament, and if you have X number of tokens, you can play in it. And the participation prize is a sleeve you can only get from that tournament.
Yeah.
And then we have all these other cool little things you can win. Like, it might make it sort of more casual, not like the winner gets $5,000. Like, but make it casual with a bunch of cool words. And I feel like that kind of thing is where we need to, give a little more support. So that's something I've been thinking about and working on too.
Yep. Alright, what's my opponent doing here? Swinging with both. Let's just do the cruel sentence, see what happens. He's not going to want to pick -1. He's not going to want to pick +1. Let's get either of those, thanks. Come on. And he's got sacrifice, so he loses the mower. That's fine. Alright, so let's see. Let's. Oh man, so many questions. I'm sorry, guys, that I can't see them all.
If anyone, if you have people that are, I don't know how else to. What other questions have I been hearing in general? I'm happy with the console launches. We're going to continue, like I said. Potentially at some point we want to try and figure out maybe even 360. Or I could imagine going on to Switch. That'd be amazing.
That would be pretty cool.
But again, it takes time, and everything we do has a cost. So every time we do anything, we're trying to make sure it's the thing that most people are going to be able to engage with or enjoy. And clearly the first priority is always the sets, and then also continuing to do PvE stuff and work on all that, which we're doing. Siege, I'm very excited about. As I said before, it's hilarious to watch the AI pilot these crazy over-the-top decks and trying to figure out a deck that can beat them all. I've got high hopes for that being something that takes people by surprise in terms of how fun it is.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it. Actually, there was in one of the... I don't know where it was actually posted now, but there was the mention that you guys are going to be doing your own little unique keeps that are that you guys have designed.
Yeah.
And that was one of the things
I started working on mine. I don't know if I want to be thematic or... So mine will be funny. Clearly I've got to have a sort of a Merry Caravan. They'll be on the first keep will probably be Merry Caravan.
Yep.
And then one of my favorite, I don't know, I think the AI can actually play it okay. One of my favorite cards ever is Primordial Caves. And so maybe something around the caves that are out in front of my keep. So you got the Merry Caravan way out in front, then you get closer, there's the Primordial Caves. I think that's the right name, Primordial Caves.
Yep,
the one that makes dinosaurs.
Yep. Yeah.
I love that card. I don't think anyone caught that. Here, I'll give you. Here's two art. I don't know if I've told anyone this before, but the Primordial Caves, that art was supposed to be the two dinosaurs fighting at the end of the train ride around Disneyland. My favorite ride at Disneyland, having grown up going there, constantly because my grandma worked there, but. The train, my favorite ride, and the last part of the train ride is where the primordial world, and you see the two dinosaurs fighting, and that was supposed to be. I actually supplied the artist with a photo of those two dinosaurs I took on my phone when I was on that ride.
That's awesome. Yeah, I definitely didn't catch it being over in Australia. I've never been to Disneyland, but maybe other people did.
Yeah, right. So there is so many weirdo, obscure art references that cool. We all put into all these cards. It's hilarious because we all do the art descriptions and everything, and and Roostosaur writes them. Like after we brainstorm it all out, he's taking notes and writes them, and we get so many crazy things. And I've often got these weirdo ideas, like the joke that I baked into Execute that I don't think anyone caught. I might have mentioned it before, but
Execute joke.
The flavor text "gotcha" is actually from a Perry Bible Fellowship cartoon.
Yeah, that's way over my head. Fair enough. Yeah, but back with the Siege stuff, with the unique stuff that you guys are going to be doing now, are you going to do it differently to what everyone else is going to have access to? Because that's something I think would be cool. Like if you guys had like one that's like 5 keeps that you have to beat, and it's like maybe the prize is
no, it definitely won't be that, because that's all hard baked into the back end and the engineering. But if anything, I would say we might do something where we give ourselves access to some specific cards that are from the PvE experience. So for me, like, me making a funny deck that's fun to play against with a bunch of RNG in it almost requires that some other things are there to help it. Like if you've played against the Princess Cory decks in the Frostring Arena, the resources, as an example, that give you whatever you need, like that kind of stuff, so that the deck is powerful enough to actually pilot through a funny theme and not just lose instantly, would be the only place. And then as we move forward and we start to figure out engineering-wise how to do some of the stuff, like put in the mercenaries, probably the first place you'll see it will be in those keeps.
Yep. And
that'll be fun. And so you might pop into one of our keeps and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh, look at, there's the mustachio gang is guarding my keep all of a sudden, and that would be
mix things
up.
Awesome. Yeah.
Or Brosi, or some of my favorites on the mercenaries.
Yep. So with the release of Siege and all that, a few people have been asking about marketing plans. Is there plans to do some sort of stuff to market the keeps, the Siege and all that?
Yeah, we might do some stuff around the Siege. What we're really doing, though, we've got a little budget we put together around PS4, but we've been waiting until Europe was launched and all the bugs are ironed out. Clearly, there's there's an issue right now where you can only buy 500 platinum at a time, because we've got to figure out this one issue with the store.
Right.
So once that's solved, hopefully tomorrow or this weekend, and then we get Japan launched. We were going to actually do some marketing with Sony. Then they've got a little bit of a commitment they're making to us to help, and so all that stuff's been on hold until we had each of the. It would have been fine launching with just EU and US, but at this point I'm so close to Japan, I might as well just get all of it in place.
Yeah.
And then we're going to have some marketing kit for PlayStation.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I think it's a good opportunity. I mean, it's fun to play on the PS4. People seem to enjoy it, so that's great. We definitely have a lot of new players, a lot of people playing on the console.
Do you, so King of the Void asks, how is crafting coming along? I assume that's, on the back burner type of thing.
Yep, that's all part of the PvE. I mean, the crafting is a weird thing in that it's tied into larger systems. Not unlike Keeps. Keeps was buried inside of a bunch of larger systems, and so I just pulled it out and decided that we'd have a chance to sort of mess around with it and then figure out, as we go, what's working, what isn't, fine tune it, and then we can plug it back into its larger system. Crafting is part of it's the skeletal structure of a completely other person, basically.
Yeah.
So I can't really tear that out and give it to you without the flesh and blood and bone, everything else. Like, it would just make no sense at all. So that's the problem with, delivering bits and pieces of an MMO, or RPG, or whatever you want to call it. Delivering that in bits and pieces can be difficult, and some bits and pieces just simply can't be delivered without all the core systems that go around it and support it.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got here. I mean, where is it gone? Let me just quickly play my card. So, curious about if PC controller support is going to be a thing.
Oh yeah,
if it's difficult.
I think.
Okay.
Like using a a joystick for the PC.
Yeah, or using the PS4. I think he's asking if we can use the PS4 controller for PC or something. Not sure why. I guess if you're playing on a couch, that would make sense.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I know we're making it. I know that Woods has it working already. We just haven't put it in.
Right.
Where you can use a controller for the PC, and especially once we get some of the interface elements in as an option for the PC version that we have in the console version, then for sure using a controller is something we'll have as support, which would be great.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Mustachio,
your deck is pretty good, I gotta say. I feel like
well. It's working pretty well.
Yeah,
look at all this removal. I mean, it's crazy.
I think your opponent is probably a little new, but still, outside of that, I felt like you haven't really been in any kind of trouble. You've got so much removal.
I am not.
And it feels like you keep at least you got someone to keep some pressure on with. Again, having all the flyers.
Yeah, him just now losing another card is just just too much removal in hand right now. I mean, he loses a shard, so he's not too sad, but now we can just swing again. He still can't kill it unless he has something, but needs to be pretty much repel. A combat trick's not going to do it.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. All right, so he takes no repel. All right, let's get down the flyer. We can off that next turn. Thank you for the cheer there, Traxum. More bits for Bella to eat. Yum, yum, yum. Alright, so let's see what we get from the verdict. But yeah, I'd really love to.
I'm excited. We're about 6 weeks away from the next set, so that means the spoiler season is going to start soon, which will be some great articles about everything that we're doing. And what's that?
I just said hype.
Yeah. So I mean that's always fun. I mean, having lots of stuff going on, having lots of bits and pieces dropping is, one of the things that I really want as a priority for Hex, so that people feel like there's always something new and something fun to engage. And then, every 4 months, we're definitely on track to make sure we always hit every 4 months. We're dropping a new set, and this should be no exception. So we know it's middle of March, so we're about 5 weeks away from that.
Sweet.
That guy just uses ability with no cards in hand.
I have no idea, to be honest. He might have.
Yeah.
I was looking at chat. So one thing I did want to ask.
I appreciate this person jumping into draft, being clearly pretty new at playing. Like,
gotta learn somehow.
Exactly. No, I like it.
Let's buff this guy.
Who is it? It's Bran. I'll make sure to mail Bran some packs. So he can do some more drafts. Okay, I took a note. I'm gonna mail Bran some packs.
You know what? Let's buff this guy. Let's buff. Not that we really need to buff the
watching the stream, mail something to Bran.
That actually reminds me. Let's do another giveaway, shall we? Let's do.
Thanking him for playing against Havoc on stream, even if it's a PvE card or some commons. Let's just inundate him with mail from everyone who watched this stream, thanking him for playing.
Yep. So one thing I did want to ask is that your Friday updates on the forums, is that something you're going to continue anytime soon? Because I know I enjoy them, and I know a lot of other people do as well.
I jumped into when Dino posts, and I've been making comments and answering some questions. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, it felt like it was a lot of work. I kind of backed myself into a corner. I have a tendency to start doing something and then doing more of it and trying to outdo myself. Yeah. And then eventually I'm to the point where I feel like I'm spending half of Thursday and half of Friday trying to figure out a joke and make it and doing photoshops, and it's like and then I got to this point where I felt like embarrassed if I didn't keep going so far. And the joke, it has some legs, I guess, but holy Moses. And I liked that I challenged myself to do it. I did it for a solid year. It was a lot of updates, and I felt like they're funny. I take a lot of pride in being able to write and be funny, mm-hmm. and so trying to make them funny. And so I don't know. I'm still trying to decide. It felt like at one point people were not that interested, and so it was a lot of work. And I don't know. You got probably half a dozen people that were like, "Hooray! I love this!" And then so I don't know. Do people really care? Not asking, I'm not being.
There's probably more than you
I just
think, but yeah, maybe it's your time is better spent elsewhere. But
I was trying to think maybe there's something else. Like maybe I should mix it up, come up with some other premise than what we do here on Fridays, and then making it about Jared. Although he was a good sport about it always. I would always check. Usually, I would check with him and say, like, "Are you okay with this?" Like, because there's some of those were pretty outlandish. But
yeah,
it was fun. I might come up with a different premise that's maybe got a little more room. Although that had a lot of room.
Maybe it's just to like.
Maybe I could do like installments of a story or something. I'm currently a lot of my creativity side. I'm doing a 90-page comic for Epic Spell War. So I've been pouring a lot of my creative energy in terms of writing into that. But yeah, maybe I'll figure it back out, and maybe with the launch of the next set, I can start doing that again.
Yep. Maybe just like do something every couple of weeks or something, and maybe just like a fortnight in the life of Hex with Cory, and then it's like I did this awesome draft, and this is what's happening.
Or I should have did. Or what I didn't do is I didn't sit down and just come up with a bunch of ideas for it. I would literally every Thursday be like, okay, I need one of these for tomorrow, and then I would start thinking about it, and I'd be like, what can I make? Like, what can I do for a photo? Like the duck hunt, I randomly found that emulator online. I'm like, oh, that's funny. Like, how do I make this funny about Jared? And then he's an esports pro for duck hunt, and I photoshopped that thing together. I was pretty proud of those. I thought they're pretty funny. Like,
yeah,
I spent some time on it. Like carved butter that one time, or I'd just be out and I'd be like Thursday, I'd be like, oh shit, I'd look around the store and take a random photo. Like I bought the costume that one time, and I was at Joanne's Fabric, and there were the costumes, and then the construction worker update one. So,
speaking of esports, is there any plans to do anything else in that regard anytime soon?
I feel like we're trying real hard here.
I mean,
we give away $1,000 every day on the weekends.
I agree. I agree with the tournament support. One thing I think would be cool to see is like a Hall of Fame thing where there's like trophies with the people's names on it. That it's something that you might have seen in the forums in the past. I've suggested this. I think that would be kind of cool. As like having something people can go to like the this page on the main page and see all the different trophy tournaments, and then click on it to see who's won on what dates. And then later on, you get to add to that by having clickable links to replays of those tournaments.
Yeah,
that would be cool in my opinion.
And now that's a good idea.
Because the way I see it at the moment is you've got this
writing it down right next to brand's name.
Like the way I see it at the moment is at the moment tournaments are kind of like done and dusted. Like you announce the winners on the Hex website and stuff. Somewhere where they can live permanently, and your name is And you could have these sort trophies.
Of a Hall of Champions.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then you have like a trophy. It might be like the Cosmic Crown Trophy, and it has all the names on it when you click on it. And you could even tie in little rewards to that, just like in real life with various sports tournaments where the trophy changes hands. You could have it so it gets added to someone's stash. Say you win a bash, you have a trophy that's like, oh, here's the bash trophy. It's in your stash for a week. And during that time, you get like an account reward, like maybe increased experience or what have you. So there's like more meaning to even having the tournament, and then it changes hands, and you could do anything you want in terms of the reward, but it would just make it a bit, again, your name's added to the trophy, you get a little tiny reward for however long. There's many things you could do there. I mean, if you like the idea, I can talk to you more about it later, but
I definitely do. And also, we have the ability to do replays.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Of just about every game that's ever played.
Exactly.
So it's one of the features that we're going to be getting in, I hope, in the near future, is for everyone the ability to do replays.
Yeah.
But this is a good mid-step also of doing something where you can go back in and watch all the games. That's a great idea. Absolutely. So I think that this. I'm gonna have to go.
Yeah, no, you've stayed longer than you said you would, so we've been pleasure to have you.
I'm actually having dinner with Chark this evening.
Oh, nice.
So I have to go have dinner with my favorite Russian.
Fair enough. All right, well, thank you very much for joining. It was a pleasure to have you, and always great to hear from you once again. So everyone,
also, you want to do one more contest, and then send me a private message with who won. And tell them they can have any sleeve in the game.
All right, I'll write that. Let's do it now. Let's do it right now.
the Exalted or ones that I've had to remove via court order. Outside of that, they can have any sleeve in the game.
All right, let's find
and
out.
I'll have Chris Holland actually manually go in and put it on their account. He's going to be happy to hear that.
All right, I'm going to draw the winner for that right now. Right now, someone's getting any sleeve they like. Here we go. The winner is J.R. Lawton. You've got yourself whatever sleeve you like with some stipulations. So there you go. We've got the name. Let's get your in-game name, and I'll write that down. And I guess if you want, you can do that too as well. So J.R. Lawton, you're the winner. Congratulations. And I'll do some more giveaways myself as well right now, since I've been a while since I did the last one. So J.R. Lawton, what is your in-game name? Its chat is scrolling too fast. Where is he gone? Where is he gone? All right, let me find my window here. So he wants the Jadim sleeves, the dragon.
The Jadim, I could have guessed.
You could have guessed.
Jadim sleeve.
All right, so
that's a favorite. That's a good one.
All right, let me write that down.
I think I actually have a physical code for that. It'll be even easier. I can send it in game to him, and he can just punch it into the code system. We made codes for the Jadim when I would give those out occasionally at Gen Cons.
All right, I pasted you his name on Skype, so you can hook him up.
Well, thanks again, and happy birthday. It was very nice playing with you. Don't forget, everyone, to send Bran something in the mail.
Yep, B-R-A-N.
Even if just something. Send him something in the mail. He's going to get a bunch of mail and be like, what the hell's going on here?
Let's do it.
It'll be funny.
I'm going to kick that off right now. Let's get the mail sent. So, yeah, thank you again for joining me. It was a pleasure. And, have an awesome meal. And say hi to Chuck from everyone. And everyone give Cory a cheer in the chat. Let's do it. Thank you again.
All right, bye, guys. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you. All right, let's do it. All the cheers. Spam those emotes. There we go. All right, thanks, Cory. Take care. All right, folks. Oh man, it's getting rather warm in my room. I didn't want to put my fan on though because the noise. So I'm gonna just what the Bella's on the floor behind me. What is she doing? All right, so yeah, thank you again, Cory. Let's get rid of the camera now. So Leela is going to be coming up shortly. So hopefully she's still awake. Oh man, I'm sweating like a pig right now. Sweating like a pig. So Grat's there on the win there with the sleeve, the Jadim sleeve. Very nice. Thank you, Cory, for that.